What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm gonna just get straight into it. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway just got announced for UFC 317, and along with some other announcements of Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman, UFC Atlanta, and well, we already knew this was announced. We'll talk about this later. Not important. Let's just get straight into it. First, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. Just subscribe, whatever, guys. Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway, number 3, just got announced. I basically predicted it. Not me. I mean, I think everyone knew. If you're watching the lightweight division, I think every UFC fan is watching the lightweight division, what they're gonna do with it, looking at everything that's coming out. Everyone's eyes, everything was pointing towards Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier in Louisiana, UFC 318 to whatever, and they made it. Now, what is interesting to me is that they announced UFC 318 before UFC 317, which this tells me they're scrambling for UFC 317 right now. It really should have been announced a couple weeks ago, but they can't. I don't know. They're struggling to find maybe a main event. They're struggling to find co-mains. I don't know, but one thing I do know about 317 is that there's going to be some big lightweight fights on that card, so I can't wait. But we're not here to talk about UFC 317. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. Pretty expected. It's going to be in Louisiana. Everyone knows Dustin Poirier wanted to have his last fight in Louisiana, either a fight night or a pay-per-view, and now they are doing a main event of Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, number 3, for the BMF title. Why is it for the BMF title? We don't know. The true BMF title holder right now is Ilia Topuria. But if you want to go by lineage, it's Bilal Muhammad. So, BMF belt, I've never, it's a stupid, actually, you know what, I kind of like the belt, because it's a good belt for, just the 35-year-old casual fans who just want to turn on their TV to get away from their wives and just watch, guys bang. That's what the BMF belt is for. And, it's not bad to have it as a main event of a pay-per-view. They did do, didn't they do Masvidal versus Diaz as a main event of a pay-per-view? And I think they did Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje as a main event of a pay-per-view for the BMF belt. I like this fight. It's interesting, and it's a little different now. As you know, Dustin Poirier has beat Max Holloway 2 times out of the 2 times they fought. At first, it was, I think, in both of their debuts, or Max Holloway's debut in the UFC a long time ago. I think Dustin Poirier was 22, Max Holloway was 20. Babies, and that's when they fought each other for the first time. It was one of their debuts. I think it was Max Holloway. And they fought each other. If I'm not mistaken, Dustin Poirier Darce choked Max Holloway in that fight long time ago. I wouldn't even count that fight as Dustin's 2-0 against him like they fought recently, But and then they did fight, I think in 2019 or some shit, 2018. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier, and Dustin Poirier beat up Max Holloway, But it's still a different fight now, because we saw Max Holloway against Justin Gaethje at 155 battering Justin Gaethje and knocking him out, which Dustin Poirier couldn't do to Gaethje, Well, he did do it to Gaethje. They're 1-1. But whatever. Way more interesting fight, and this is guaranteed a lot of pay-per-view buys. Not some record-breaking thing because it was expected, but this is the definition of a casual fan. Everyone's going to be, watching out for Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. Come on. Very fun fight. My early prediction, I really don't know, honestly. I think probably Max Holloway, It's going to be a standing fight. Does anyone really beat Max on the feet like that unless you're Topuria or Dustin Poirier 5 years ago, or Volkanovski? So maybe people do beat Max on the feet. I think Dustin can win. Actually, I don't know, but I'm leaning towards Max for now just because of his performance against Gaethje, but we don't know how that Topuria fight affected him. Whatever. Let's get on to the next thing. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. I knew they were gonna make this fight. It was just about matter of time, and this fight is for June 14th. So month away, basically, month and a half away. These these are all pretty close fights, and yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I think it's just all matters of 317 what they're doing with that, right? But I knew this was gonna be the main event for Atlanta. I knew they were gonna get Joaquin Buckley on there for the UFC Atlanta fight night, and that's exactly what they did. And this is the perfect main event for. This is the perfect main event, and it is the perfect fight for both of them. I know I'd say that a lot. Like a lot of these fights they make are the perfect fight for both fighters, but this truly is, right. Kamaru Usman on a 3-fight losing streak hasn't fought in what, a year and a half, 2 years even maybe. Nah, a year and a half against Hamza. He went on short notice. Went to 3 rounds with Hamza, with a very close decision loss to Hamza. Before that, he lost a decision to Leon Edwards. Could have even gone to Usman. Before that, got head kick. We all know the story. But Joaquin Buckley has been on a roll. He just battered Colby Covington. Before that, knocked out Wonderboy Thompson. Before that, who is that guy he fought? I know exactly his name. He's like Kazakhstani, I forgot the guy what Buckley fought before that. But before that, he fought Vicente Luque. Buckley's been on a roll, and he even called out Usman in his I think after the Wonder Boy fight, he's like, "Hey Usman, get your ass out of retirement. Get your old ass out of retirement." And here he is. He's out of retirement. Well, he never retired, but I think Usman's kind of a retard and in his own head has his own ego that for some reason Usman thought he would come back and get a title shot right away. You know how Usman is. They just did a podcast with Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, and Henry Cejudo. Now, first of all, I like their podcast, but I can never listen to a full version of their podcast. I only see the clips of their podcast, and they're pretty good clips. But they are just, bro, that the most brain dead podcast I could imagine. Henry Cejudo, Kamaru Usman, and Israel Adesanya. But this is a great fight. My early prediction, I think I genuinely do not see a way Usman has any advantage over Joaquin Buckley except maybe experience. But here's the thing with experience. Like, I don't think Joaquin Buckley lets experience affect him. Like, I see Joaquin Buckley beating the shit out of Kamaru Usman for 5 rounds. I see Joaquin Buckley beating Kamaru Usman in a very similar way to where he did to Colby Covington, if not the exact same way he did to Colby. I don't see Usman being able to wrestle with Joaquin. I don't see him being able to strike with Joaquin. I don't see him being able to kick with Joaquin. I don't see him doing anything with Joaquin. I think Joaquin Buckley is going to destroy Kamaru Usman. And you could, honestly, after that, depending on how welterweight fights go, but this fight's very soon. So Joaquin Buckley after this will probably have to have one more fight to get a title shot. Potentially Joaquin Buckley versus the winner of Ian Gary and Prates. But if Prates beats Gary, they're probably going to give Prates someone else, like give him a couple more fights till a title shot. They want to be sure with that one, I think. But if Ian Gary wins, they're definitely going to rebook Joaquin Buckley versus Ian Gary 2 for a main event of a fight night or a co-main of a pay-per-view. I think that'll third fight down of a pay-per-view probably, right? Amazing fight. I mean, I just love the fight. But I feel kind of bad because, Kamaru Usman is going to get destroyed in this fight. I really don't know what I don't know why Kamaru Usman decided to wait out that long. I don't think it's going to give him any advantage. I just don't see Kamaru Usman winning this. Honestly, I wonder what the odds are going to be on this. Also has like a co-main of Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Miranda Maverick, she's really not that good. Like I remember seeing her last fight. I think it was her last fight I saw. She really did not do that good. She's just not all that, She's kind of cute, but yeah, I think Miranda Maverick, she actually versed Jamie Lynn Horth. I think it was them two who versed each other. And it was just a boring fight by Maverick, and I can see Rose Namajunas taking over in this fight, and and beating up on Miranda. So yeah, I'm gonna go Rose Namajunas early prediction. But yeah, great fights announced. And also, I never talked about this. We already knew this was announced. This was announced a couple weeks ago, I think. Jamal Hill versus Khalil Rountree rebooked. I think I even made a video about this being rebooked. I think I'm dumb actually. I did make a video about this being rebooked. It's in Azerbaijan, the country, whatever, in Baku. Um, this is the main event, and it has also Curtis Blades versus Rizvan Kuniev rebooked. I'm very curious about this guy Rizvan Kuniev. Very curious about him and how good really is this guy, because I haven't done much research into him, but I know like he's fought like Henan Ferreira, and I know he's popped for like hard like mad steroids before too. So I don't know how he's in the promotion getting Curtis Blades in its first fight, but the UFC must see something in him, or they're just trying to like I don't know. I don't know what the UFC is trying to do with this. Yeah. And also Ignacio Bahamondos versus Rafael Faziev is the co-main of this fight card. I don't know why it's not on the website, even though they announced it on the UFC site officially. On the UFC Instagram officially, they announced it, but for some reason it's not here. But Ignacio Bahamondos versus Rafael Faziev. Great fight. I think I even said after UFC 313, was it? Yeah, UFC 313. I even said, do Bahamondos versus Faziev. Perfect fight. I think I'll lean towards Bahamondos just because he's so tall and lanky. And Faziev is kind of small. I wonder if he'll go down to 145. He could go down to... Who's that? I wonder if he could go down to 145. He's pretty... I feel like he's small for lightweight. He's very small compared to Gaethje. And I think he definitely can make 145. Guys, that was my video of me yapping. If you made it to the end of this, I'm genuinely surprised. Like, there's no way you can listen to me talk for, how long have I been talking for? 12 minutes? Damn, like, bro, you must have a sad life if you're really listening to me talk like this. Uh, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier. Come on, great fight. Can't wait to see it. But a fight I'm actually more excited for is Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. Amazing. Guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment whatever you want. Guys, just subscribe, comment, share the video, whatever. Make fun of me in the comments. I don't care. Peace out.